Hey guys, welcome to the Gotham After Show on the Stream.TV Fan Show Network. I'm your host, Devon. I'm joined by my co-host on the left, David.
Hi, David Fichtenmayer.
All right. On the right, we got Vi.
Hi, Vi Flaten. Follow me on Twitter.
And all the way over in here, we got my boy, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy Bechtold. Good to be here.
All right. So go ahead, invite your friends, join the conversation right now on the Stream.TV's YouTube channel. Okay. So, I mean, we all just saw the show. You know, we see what's up. So what'd you think of the whole Bat origin? You know, we see this on everything, every movie, every comic, everything like that. His parents is killed repeatedly. You know, they're getting tired of it.
Right.
So what'd you think about it?
Well, someone made the point that this is the first time we saw it live instead of in a dream sequence.
Yes.
So I wonder how that changes things, if any. I mean, you still had like the super dramatic, like dropping of the pearls in slow motion. So I mean, it was still like super cinematic and kind of dreamlike. And I kind of was wondering if "Kiss from a Rose" was going to play when I saw this like pearls drop.
Shout out to Seal. Shout out to Seal.
What a real romantic way to have someone die off on a show if that played.
I would die to Seal.
I like that they had young Bruce Wayne scream. I thought that was like a rare vulnerability for someone we know is eventually going to be the main man in this franchise, behaving like a little kid. It was kind of like, it was weird. It was a little disarming at first because it was so high pitched, but then you're like, oh right, he's 8. So
I thought that was great.
What do you think about Catwoman or witnessing it?
I mean, that's new, right?
Yeah, that's new.
Does that
That's
exist
new
in any
detail.
other mythologies or
All I'm saying
timelines?
is Catwoman's like 16 in this, Batman's like 8. So eventually they gonna start hooking up. So like, is she a cat or is she like a cougar?
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. Is she like Hollywood 8 or is she like, I don't know, because where does it, I would like to know like what age she's supposed to be, because I mean, they look the same age. Like that actor who's supposed to be playing, that kid, he's supposed to be 8. He don't look 8. He doesn't talk like he's 8. He's using big words for being 8. And so, I mean, like, they look like they could ostensibly be the same age. So I don't know what ages they're supposed to be, but as they're being played now, they look the same age.
we can assume that Bruce Wayne is private school educated
okay.
through the Wayne Foundation.
I can see
Generous
that.
grant from his parents. We can also assume the street urchin playing Catwoman probably hasn't been to school in 6 or 7 years. So intellectually, they may be
On the
equals.
same level.
Yeah,
That
there you
makes
go.
sense.
There you
So
go.
do you think her watching it is gonna affect like the whole story and everything
It could
about it?
mythos that could come back and play on later,
Yeah,
like
that's
when
what I'm
Bruce
saying.
grows up.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I know. This and that.
Yeah.
It certainly bonds them faster.
It does.
Certainly kind of makes them presumably on the same team at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not team, but like makes her sympathetic towards him.
It's definitely
Yeah.
an icebreaker when they meet. He gonna be like, "Hey, so I saw my mom and daddy get shot. Like, what's up?
think
You
he
want
was
to
paying
drink?
attention?
Do you want to hold me while I cry?
So you were there too, huh? How was that for you? Did you hear me scream?
Yeah,
And she'll be like, yeah, yo, that was kind of nerdy, sorry, or that
I
was kind
really
of girly.
scream manlier than that though, for real.
Want to hear me?
deep voice.
But yeah, so the Bat origin. So I'm guessing, it was cool. I'll say that. We thought it was pretty cool and whatnot.
liked it.
But along with the Bat origin, you also got all the character little Easter eggs that we were getting during the show.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. First one, of course, being Oswald and Fish. Okay, well, Fish just made up for the show, but Oswald, Penguin.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got him. We got, who else they have on there? We had,
Let's talk about Penguin. Let's talk about Penguin.
Okay,
He's my
let's
favorite.
talk
He's my
about Penguin.
favorite.
what you want to talk about with Penguin?
Yeah, talk
What do I
about
want
it.
to talk about with Penguin? What don't I want to talk about with Penguin? This actor I think is completely riveting. I mean, I love. Okay, so I kind of take issue with the fact that half of this, the style of the show, half of it is stuck in Law and Order, super stereotypically handsome or beautiful people, but then you have these weird odd characters like Penguin and Riddler and stuff like that who are more otherworldly or something, and not Friday Night Lights cute football players and cheerleaders and stuff like that. So I love this actor. I think his vulnerability is amazing. Like I was saying at the end when Jim was pushing him toward the pier, I was like, I want to give him a hug. I know he's gonna kill people and stuff like that, but I want to give him a hug. So I mean, when you can create that kind of complexity in a character, that's just amazing.
So we can assume that you've written letters to inmates before.
Ooh,
Based on-
send him a couple of those
based
pictures.
on what that-
A couple of those.
Yeah, I might have already sent some nudie pictures to the actor playing the Penguin.
Right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Riddler, Edward Nygma? What do we? What we talking about?
I mean, this is a pilot, so they got to be a little heavy-handed. But I kind of felt like they really spoon-fed the audience, like, just in case you haven't ever read a Batman comic or seen a Batman movie, these are who all these people are. Like, I think the second line out of Bullock's mouth was like, "Enough riddles, Edward Nygma." And then I think he may have winked at the camera, but that could have just been something I hallucinated.
And then he like nudged.
Well, what about Lil Ivy? You know, so I mean, we got a little glimpse of her.
Sure.
But she kind of seemed like a weirdo in my taste. 'Cause she was just standing in the corner with the plant. She ain't even had no water, no fish food in her hand. She was just looking at it.
Because you put fish food on a plant.
Yeah, and
My fault. I'm thinking of Fish Mooney. My bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Jada Pinkett. I love Will
now
Smith.
that they murdered Ivy's parents too, so her father at least.
Yeah.
So like, how is that gonna play when she grows up and gets more,
Yeah.
negative. Crazy,
More
talking
crazier.
to
Well,
plants?
she obviously
she's-
hated him. Like, and she was, mom was like, F you. And she was like, oh, yeah, I back her up. That's my mama. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a good. She obviously had a really good childhood growing up with her plants and her abused mother.
That was a pretty big plant budget for a poor family of criminals, though. There were a lot of really nice plants in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
really-
Yeah, it was definitely a nice one.
Well, yeah.
And then, what about that dude that was on stage, though? Because I remember somebody talking about this questionably like a Joker cameo. I don't know if that's...
I mean, I thought it too, just a little bit. I thought maybe it could be the Joker.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's what you would waste your Joker opening on. It's like you got your one big favor or your hook, line, sinker, and that's what you're gonna waste it on for Joker?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the whole
Not the same.
Spider-Man Venom issue everybody had when that came
Yeah.
out. He deserves his own monumental film. Whereas the Joker, didn't he start off as like dude with the red, something he fell in some vat and his face got all messed up?
Red Mask.
Red Mask, yeah.
Red Mask, yeah.
But here's the thing. So the last two movie adaptations of the Joker, you have Heath Ledger playing one of the craziest criminals of all time, literally just an anarchist. Who didn't murder people without thinking anything. Then you had Jack Nicholson, who was kind of like a mobster, gone bad, fell into the acid. So this could just be a different, rather than having this Joker compared to the other two, they might just be kind of like introducing a subtler Joker.
Yeah.
And maybe the crazy will come out. Because I noticed what they were doing with that character is they had him kind of talking to himself. Like when he was watching all that, he was getting real worked up. And as it got more violent, it seemed like he was almost getting a little more excited about it.
Yeah.
So, maybe in a show that I don't think was super subtle overall for the first episode, that might have been something that they were kind of slow playing.
Speaking of subtly, in slow pay, that was one of the people they did not name drop either.
True.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But he did tell a joke.
Yes.
There was the one thing.
He was telling a joke. Well, I mean, it's either that or get shot. Because Fish Mooney, speaking of Fish Mooney, that's when we're going to
Fish
talk
Mooney.
about that whole little Fish Mooney, penguin thing. But yeah, I mean, she,
What do you guys think about Jada Pinkett Smith's portrayal?
I'm just trying to figure out where this accent she got come from. Like, I don't know if she's just talking slow or if she's from the slower part of town. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But then again, if she's like this woman out here beating dudes with bats and stuff, so she got some kind of power. I don't know how far that power goes. Obviously, from what we saw, it's not Falcone, not on his level because he's still running it. But, it's one of those things. So, like I said, when I see her, all I see is Will Smith. That's just, that's what I do.
I gotta admit that I'm not a super big fan of what Jada's doing because it's like she's in a different style of TV show or movie than everyone else. Other people are doing this gritty realism or, I'm already blown away by some of the acting work that the Riddler and the Penguin are doing. And then you've got Jada Pinkett Smith just kind of chewing the scenery and, well, aren't you a tall glass of milk? And I'm just it's I don't know, it's like a 1920s
But I think she made a character choice for an original character that was probably more in tune with the more the Batman movies of the 90s, the later 90s that weren't super...
Or even the 60s.
Bat nipples.
Bat nipples.
Right, when Batman had nipples, which we all know was a function of the suit. But it let the air out, so he didn't get super hot.
Okay.
But
I agree.
But I don't mind that. I think it was definitely, there's a lot of weird New York accents from a lot of different characters. Some of the cops made some New York accent choices. But I kind of respect her for going big with it. I thought, if she was a real criminal mastermind that was very subtle, her name is Fish Mooney.
Yeah.
She has a giant fish on the door. I think she kind of has to be, she owns a nightclub.
She likes theatrics.
Right.
Yeah.
She plays chess alone.
Yeah. This genius.
This is a crazy person. I actually think the crazy choice worked.
Well, I'm
wrong.
just throwing this out there, but when I hear Penguin and fish, Penguin eat fish, so I'm not surprised he turned on her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was a little subtlety they put there.
Sure.
And by the way, shout out to some of our favorite blogs out there. We got at Gotham Addicts, and that's at Gotham Addicts, like addicted, and then at Gotham Site. S-I-T-E, at Gotham Site. What's up? I tweet you all the time. What's good? But yeah, so speaking of Fish, do you think she'll have a big impact towards the end of season 1, or is she gonna be one of those ones that she dies out? Like, for example, when Jada was in Scream 2, is she gonna be like gone out at the end, or what?
Well, I think she's like the star power of the show. I mean, she's the biggest. She's the biggest person in there right now. So I feel like they gotta keep her around. And I don't think it'll be like Game of Thrones, where like you're like, Sean Bean's good, and he's totally not.
You don't need star power with a Batman.
You don't.
But he's not a Batman yet. He's an 8-year-old.
Realistically, when you're
I
watching,
think she's gonna get crossed off the list.
You think she could get crushed on?
Yeah.
No, I bet
mean,
she'll be around.
by the end of the season.
Yeah.
No,
Probably season
no,
finale.
I bet season finale, like, let's put money down. She's gonna bite the dust at the end of the season. What do you guys think? Tell us next week who you think is gonna, if you agree with me that Fish Mooney's gonna bite the dust season finale of the first season. That's what I call.
I mean, I agree with that 100% because, you know, either way, you know, Fish Mooney.
I don't think, I mean, like, the question is, will she be in charge at the end of season 1? I think, without a doubt, probably not.
Yeah.
But I do think, because it's a comic book adaptation, we could see her go to Arkham. She could be the first, like, appearance of Arkham. Because they don't, you don't ever want to kill your bad guy.
Yeah.
You want to put him away for a while.
Or like an alternate dimension.
So then, you know,
They never kill
Jada,
Batman's guys.
Jada makes
Yeah,
a
they
few
just
bad
send Arkham.
movies. 2015, 2016, she has a rough time of it. 2017, Gotham season 4. Well, look who comes back. Look who broke out of Arkham. Oh, that's so crazy. And your chessboard
Exactly.
is set up, and you still got a game to finish, you nut job.
Yeah. You don't like Jada Pinkett, do
I
you?
love Jada Pinkett. I'm just, you know, we're doing some
Just
career
bends the brakes,
forecasting
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I
Now-
think she's fine.
He's
That also
making a
brings up the
plan B
whole
for her.
fact about Bullock and Fish. Like, what's this whole history they got going on? Because, I mean, the dude just walks in to obviously one of the stronger powers in that area, and he just starts kissing the woman on the face. Right. And then everybody's like, whoa, what's up? Will got a problem with that? What we doing?
They said remember Mooney said, she's like, is this a personal or a business visit?
Yeah.
So like, and
Or
she
a
said
conjugal.
it with that, is this a personal visit? And she's like, no, not this time. Da, da, da. So is there a relationship there sexually?
Nah. He's banging her for info. It's not like, you know, they're banging, but it's
not.
like he leaves before she wakes up and stuff like that, and it's like awkward.
Well, he looks very slow, sluggish,
Yeah.
nowhere near the League of Shadows, you know, like stealthiness to be able to sneak out. Plus, Fish don't look like she sleeps. She look like she sleep with her eyes open.
I bet you
playing
she's
chess
in her,
while
she's in
sleep,
With
her,
one
you know
hand
what
on her
I'm
chest
saying?
piece.
Yeah. Like, I don't know
I mean,
about
they
all
weren't. That was another thing they weren't really subtle about. Was like Bullock is clearly a dirty cop. Like
Yeah.
that was from the
Yeah.
get-go. It's like he's either drinking or he's drinking Maalox out of the bottle. Like he's not. There's no subtlety with him either. Like
He got some issues.
He's a
I'm a
bad guy.
hard-boiled cop. I'm drinking my Maalox with,
Right.
with my coffee.
The only cop that doesn't shave.
Yeah,
the only
for
cop
sure,
that doesn't
for sure.
have a reasonable haircut.
Yeah.
I like it. But I think like they kind of established that like these two are in some sort of cahoots, and then you know throughout the episode they put them at odds with each other. But
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of them together.
How much do you think we're gonna see of Bullock's? Because, like, for instance, Bullock's is a dirty cop, but he's still a good cop to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
Right.
Did you think we got that kind of from this?
I actually thought they made him a little too dirty in this episode.
I
I
don't-
thought they
I
got his
don't.
hands a
I
little.
thought he was lame.
I mean, he was complicit in a frame job of a criminal for
Yeah.
murder
But,
that
like-
he also ended up killing. And you could argue that he took the shot. Maybe could have clipped him in the arm.
Yeah.
Maybe could have clipped him in the leg. But he chose to shoot to kill in that moment. And he had plausible deniability. That, of course, he had to try and shoot him because the Mario Peppers was going to kill his partner.
Well, I didn't trust him from the beginning because as soon as he walked on to the whole crime scene, he was like, "Look, y'all didn't see me."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what's up? Are we not paying you to do cop work or what?" You know. So and he's like, "I don't want the case. We're gonna give it to somebody else." Then somebody else tried to take it, and his first thought is like, "Why you want it?" You know what I'm saying? Like, make your mind up, bro. Like, you know?
Yeah, I think they made him a little too dirty too.
Yeah, he's definitely very dirty.
That's not. I don't think that was dirty, or maybe I'm an awful person. But
Well, we've established that you're an awful person. We've covered this in other topics. You sympathize with the Penguin already. Like, I think it's
And
okay.
the last
Just
thing you
be
do is
you.
slash somebody's throat, you know. So
just for his sandwich, man.
It was tuna.
This sandwich looked like dry.
I would
like you said,
hate
it
to
was
see
tuna.
your ex-boyfriends then, because you
Well, you can't
you
find
let
them.
them get
They're
away with
very-
everything. Like,
Those men are
he
very,
killed
very
somebody.
deep.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. He needed a sandwich.
He probably
Like,
had it coming.
Goodness Lord. But yeah, you know, that's the kind of I don't know. I'm hoping that whole Fish Mooney Penguin relationship is a little, dive in deeper with it later on, because I do want to see.
But that's also blown to bits now too.
Yeah,
It's like, that was a lot of action in the first episode. Now we got Fish Mooney and Bullock are at odds. Fish Mooney and Oswald are definitely at odds. Bullock thinks Oswald is dead, which, by the way, why would you not just walk down to the end of the pier to make sure that your partner finishes the job?
Get a good look
He's
down
like,
in the
I'll
water.
stand just far enough away so that I could not see you fake shoot him.
Yeah,
Is that
and
cool?
at the perfect angle.
Is that good?
Right.
Yeah. And then, overall, though, what did you think of the whole episode? Like, in the end, who are they ever going to tell us who killed the Waynes? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they never really tell us that in the comics.
Yeah.
It's one of them kind of things you got to dance around. They never say, like, he did it. We always see that little hand with the glove and the gun.
Right.
And that could be a woman's wrist, unless she's a very strong woman, because it's a thick wrist.
That's an ugly woman.
You know what I'm saying? So,
In this case.
who do you think they're going to pin it on in the end? Because we got a lot of little villains going around here.
Well, I noticed when I saw it, because I was like watching for like any distinguishing characteristics. He had on dress pants. They didn't talk about the dress pants, but they did talk about the shiny shoes, because when he goes in to look for, he's like, let me look at his shoes. I'm like, why is he looking for his shoes? Why is he looking for his shoes? Then you reminded me that little Bruce said that he had shiny shoes.
He had shiny shoes on.
Yeah, and Mr. Pepper did not have
So
shiny
he might have
shoes.
been at that show that they were at. He might have been somebody sitting there stalking them, like, okay, they're going outside. Remember they were asking, like, okay, how did he know they were going to be here? Well, if the dude has shiny shoes, obviously there's a little money in this theater that we talking about.
Yeah, of course
he
I
got
didn't
the
know
dress
he was gonna be
pants.
there.
So he's like, oh, I see they're going out. I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to bust a cap real quick and drop the pearls and do the theatrics of the regular origin.
And you know who were all immaculately dressed were Fish Mooney's henchmen. All those guys had on suits and vests. They were all dressed really nice, which my theory is that it was the butcher guy, Butch Gizetti or whatever his name is.
I'm blaming it on Rick Ross that was back there in the background.
I think it was Falcone. Or Falcone.
Falcone?
I think there's a conspiracy here, and you think Gordon's gonna keep investigating this?
Well, I feel like they're going to take this, like this is going to be the stem of the plot, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be like, okay, season 1, who's the killer? Season 2, we still don't know who the killer is. Season 3, okay, some other stuff is happening. There might be some other people involved. Let's branch out. You know what I'm saying? So.
Because that's the comic book. Is
Organized
when you
crime.
think they solve it, then they are like, oh no, NM, someone else.
But this is also a brand new adaptation.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to say, despite that it might anger some Batman purists and Batman fans, that they don't identify a killer of the Wayne family for this iteration of the Batman myth. Like, it could be like, all right, so this one will have a definite, and then that, because we have Bruce saying that he wants to see him again. So that could drive Bruce Wayne to get darker and darker as if they catch this guy without Bruce Wayne ever getting any kind of revenge on his own, because he's just a little kid.
In Nolan's adaptation, they identified a killer.
Yeah.
Who was it in Nolan's adaptation? I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was somebody killed him.
Yeah, and then
Was it
because
like a
Bruce Wayne
petty
went to his
thug?
trial to
Was
try
it
and
Joe
like,
Chill guy or whatever?
I
Maybe.
think so.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could, and it worked for them. So why wouldn't they do it here?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because when we were talking about like the different way that Joker was done, it made me think that he's had such huge and monumental interpretations that it's like maybe they want to go in a completely different direction with him, like you said. Because at first I was like, no, that can't be the Joker, because that's not the Joker that we know. But it's like maybe they're just like, you know what, we're not going to try to do that because it's been done, and we're just going to do our own take. So I forgot why I went down that path, because it was something about.
I think you were agreeing with me, so I think it was a great
Okay,
point. Whatever that path was.
Well, overall, though, like, there's one thing I was thinking is, I was listening to your story and I kind of forgot what I was thinking just now.
It's like contagious.
I hope the show doesn't get messed up, because realistically, everyone watching the show is waiting for Batman. Everyone's waiting for Batman. I hope people don't forget that the boy is 8 years old. He still got to go get lost, go rob some people, League of Shadows, all that kind of stuff, and then come back. But I feel like people are watching like Batman's not coming in. I don't watch the show no more. I would say stay tuned, because it's supposed to be the Detective Gordon. Don't forget, Detective Gordon is the key. You see what I'm saying? So, and he's not commissioner yet, so we about to see some grittiness.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And then if you guys have any questions yourselves that you want to ask us, feel free to hashtag GothamAS. Again, I say GothamAS. And then, so we did get some fan questions in already, though.
Great.
Like, we got one from @KDimitri. I apologize if I'm butchering this, but which villain from the DC universe would you like to see an origin story for in Gotham?
Ooh, it's like Christmas.
Who you got? Who you got, Dave?
Are we sticking with the Batman part of the DC universe or anything?
Well, he did say
Well, no,
DC
we
Universe.
talking about DC Universe.
It's all legal.
But then again, we are talking about Gotham, so we can't have like Lex Luthor popping out of nowhere.
I want to see Victor Zsasz or Black Mask.
I do want to see Zsasz straight up, like the little cuts all over the body.
Yeah, I gotta see
that.
He's such a crazy, insane villain, and we haven't seen an adaptation other than the Arkham City video games.
Right.
And even then, it's like quick, he's done. It's just a bonus quest to do. So it's like, I want to see Victor Zsasz because he is crazy.
Bruh, I'll tell you right now.
That's a good episode.
I want to see that dude. What's the name of the dude that had the puppet? Was it the puppeteer? Whatever you know what I'm talking about? The crazy dude with the glasses?
Wait, from the cartoon?
Yeah, and he had the little puppet, but he was like
Scarface was the puppet's name,
The puppet,
right?
But the dude was like, okay, I'll listen, I'll do it.
The ventriloquist.
I want to see him because he can go on for a while. Like, we got to see his origins as like, wasn't he like a doctor or something?
Right.
And then he went crazy, and then he started listening to this little puppet who really didn't exist. But then you question, like, is there a spirit in that doll? Or is it like a Chucky doll?
Right.
You don't really know, but I want to see him at least like pop up one time and get a camp. That was one of my personal favorites.
Creepy guy, yeah.
I like that. I like that because I guess I think one of the things that I'm not super excited about in this so far is like it's not like dark enough. It's still like, oh, I'm gonna be a gritty crime drama, and I'm like, no, man, you're dealing with like superheroes and supervillains. Like, let's get like out of the realm of realism. Anyway, my villain would be Harley Quinn because I'm a chick and like we're all obsessed with Harley Quinn,
Remember,
right?
she's gonna be like 6 right now too.
I don't care. She's gonna be great. Let's just see a little blonde girl with a little Brooklyn accent running around. This isn't really Brooklyn. This is Long Island, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Got a little British there for a second, but I liked all of them. I thought they were real good.
Who you got, T?
Well, I mean, I think, there's a lot of good classic Batman villains from the 60s TV show would be good, but going away from that, I wouldn't mind seeing Killer Croc, some kind of Killer Croc, man amongst the sewers. That guy was a real maniac.
He might be like a high school linebacker or something right now.
That would be kind of cool.
I almost thought that guy at the beginning was talking about his pills was going to be Killer Croc because he's like a big old guy. And he's like, I got pills. I need my pills.
Well, no, he's just a big dude.
What about a Clayface?
I was thinking Clayface, but remember, he was like a star actor or something. So right now he'd be a teenager. But it would be cool to see the guy mentioned.
Maybe he's doing like little cereal commercials at that point or something like that.
That would be true.
So you can just see him on
a little
TV.
Cameo.
Yeah, a cameo. Like little like drops and previews.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That also brings us on to the next fan question from @Dr. S. Fox. Okay, sorry again if I butcher that. But if you could choose any character from the DC universe to make a cameo in Gotham, then who would that be? Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the microphone on this in the beginning right now. Bro, I'm gonna let you know. I hope the Flash comes up in here. I don't care if we're talking about Jake Jarrett. I don't care if we're talking about Barry Allen, Wally West, or Bard Allen, rest in peace. But I'm looking for one of the incarnations of the Flash. I'm gonna just end it at that right now. Baby, take the microphone before I get angry.
That's really impressive self-control.
It
I'm
is,
really
it
proud of
is.
you, Devon.
I need my pills. I need my pills. Okay.
Well, if you're going to go through the Flash, and if they do it, that kind of messes up storylines and timelines. But I'd have to say Arrow, too, because Green Arrow is my boy. And not only that, the Arrow fits in this gritty Gotham universe.
The whole rich kid.
The rich kid with the crime fighter, the grittiness. Because Arrow straight up kills people,
He does.
Straight up
Not
kills
all of his
people.
arrows have nets in them. Some of them got arrowheads, which I respect that.
Yeah, he ain't no Hawkeye with explosive arrows. Those things pierce hearts.
Who you got?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to out myself as kind of a Marvel girl, but it's too late.
Well, remember, we in Gotham in the DC universe, so give me somebody. Not even like, what's the bird? What's the bird girl's
Okay,
name?
Black Canary.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen
Black
to me,
Canary.
I'm such a feminist. I'm like, yeah, Harley Quinn, yeah, Black Canary. That's all good. That's all good.
Who you got, Tom?
Well, first of all, it's good to be fielding questions from doctors. Thank you, all medical professionals, for tuning in. I think I wouldn't mind a little Superman crossover, and maybe Lex Luthor shows up and cause a little trouble with the Wayne family. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be? Maybe not. If you hated it, don't write it. I'm very sensitive.
Was it gonna be like a rich, like CEO of something, like a young rich guy?
Yeah, maybe he's just a baller. Maybe he comes in and like just plays a craps game with Falcone or something. Maybe they just have a scotch.
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah, maybe they just have a nice scotch.
He got his hair
Actually, you know what I'd like to see?
I'd like to see him with like a little hair, maybe receding.
I'd like to see a Talia.
Talia al Ghul.
Talia.
all right,
I'd like to see the date rape thing that happens.
Well-
Except that that's not going to happen when he's 8.
All right, so on that note, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe now to the stream.tv here on YouTube and continue to tweet us all throughout the week. You know, if you got any questions or anything, don't forget, #GothamAS. That stands for After Show, just in case if some of y'all was sitting there. #GothamAS. And then let us know what you think. We hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to see you again next week. I'm gonna give you one of these.